So I haven't got my stand today. So welcome to my living room. We're just gonna act like I am having a conversation with you while you're sitting on the couch with me. So I'm being guided to show up differently. I'm being guided to think differently, adopt new perspectives. I've said in previous videos about me being redirected. I thought that I was being redirected in the way that I showed up for my purpose, but I am being redirected in all the ways that I just listed for you. I am I'm shifting and yes, transforming, but it's a redirection in the way that I relate to my truth. So back in 2019, that's when I guess I kind of started to question everything. Um Fuck, it's been years of me questioning things, like why are we here? What's the purpose of it? That was when I was like a teenager. So I want to say that was back like fuck 2012, 2013. Um but 2019 in particular was when things started to get really hard in my life. Um and I think even a couple of years before that, I felt a little bit lost. Um, and then, of course, found out that I was pregnant with my son shortly after that, um, which was, I think, motherhood was a whole transformation within itself, especially being a mother of a special needs kid as well. So, my son is definitely a catalyst. Motherhood is a catalyst, of course, as it always is. But that's where it kind of started. 2020 is where the answers started to come in, and I guess I got the first taste of like shadow work without knowing what I was doing. I was facing my shadows. And so yeah, now we're in 2026, and everything that I've gone through between then and now, the way that my view on spirituality was shaped, it is now I'm hearing vanishing. I'm just seeing like powder, like purple, mystically sparkly powder, and just like poof. That's what I'm seeing. It's just like everything that I thought was my truth and my practices, my regimes that I have built that felt like I was building a solid foundation on a new truth, which I called spirituality, is I'm now being called away from that, which is it's insane. I mean, I've seen it happen with other people, but obviously to see something and to know something and understand something is completely different from experiencing it yourself. So now that I am experiencing it, um, it's a shock, but at the same time, because my truth has always been my truth and I was just blind to it, it resonates. I am moving away from spirituality because, for this reason, it has always been my truth, even from a very young age, that for me, and don't be offended by this, but I don't feel like a religion necessarily tears people apart, because I feel like everything has its place. I'm a little bit more expanded than that to feel like religion is only for this. Maybe it was intended for that, but no, religion, it has its place. It holds its place of bringing hope and bringing that beam of light back to some people's lives who have faced a lot of shadow, you know? So, with that said, I do know that it has its place, but I never felt like I was the one to become religious. I felt like it was too many rules, too many restrictions. I never, to be fair, that's my personality as well. So me as Genesis, I don't, I'm stubborn. I don't like being told what to do and how to do it. All of my life has been about freeing myself, and now I'm in a position where I can help others to free themselves. So being free was always a priority for me. Being free was always the closest that I felt to truth. And because I mean we're all kind of pure, we're all kind of born pure, but I always had a pure heart in the sense of like I just want everyone to be happy and everyone to be okay and everybody to see life the way that I see life and everybody to see people and accept people the way that I see and understand and accept people and how excited I am about them. And it's just like I always felt like religion kind of it put limits on people. I just felt like it was so limiting when I felt like I can't even say me as a person. It's taking time for me to accept myself as the beauty that I see in others. But I've always seen the beauty in others, even when they portrayed themselves as not what I can see. When everybody else saw what they portrayed themselves as, which was their hurt and their pain and their trauma and the things that they couldn't face because they didn't know what was it was there. What they wore on the outside, I never saw that. I saw the beauty, you know? And that's all I want for people is to understand that beauty and that limitlessness. But I felt like spirituality has really been my catalyst. It has been my beam of hope. It has been my light. It has really helped me to come back to myself. But I also do feel like, and like I said, don't get offended. This is my couch. This is my living room. So I can say what the fuck I want to say. And this is my truth. You have every right to yours. But I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Um, I feel like spirituality has become its own culture. It's become its own religion. I have the cards, and I had a reading. I think it might have been my last video where I felt cold to the cards, and even then it was like I didn't need the cards. Like I said, I feel cold to my cards. I took my cards out, and my cards were just doing nothing but just confirming everything that I already knew was coming through. So I didn't really need them. And I feel like, and if you go and watch that video, I was saying that I deleted it. I deleted the first video that I made because I didn't feel like it was quite hitting the nail on the head. I didn't feel like it was summing everything up. But once I put the cards down, I stopped confusing myself. I stopped outsourcing myself and my energy and what I already know. I stopped outsourcing my intuition. I stopped looking for validation from anything that was outside of me. Do you get me? So I have the cards. I've got a few decks and I do love them. Don't get me wrong. I love playing with them now and then. It's nice. But it's not something that I need. I was a crystal fanatic. I still have crystals. And although I do believe that crystals do hold their own vibration, I believe that everything that I need and all the vibrations that I'm looking for are inside of me, you know? And I just feel like that has been the cane or like the crutch per se that I have been leaning on is the fact that like okay, well, if I feel like things are too heavy, then I will, I'll go to my pendulum, I'll go to my crystals, my um I'll go to my cards, you know? I'll meditate, I'll sit this certain way, and I didn't even realize that the very thing that I was trying to not do was the exact trap that I was falling in. And I've just gotten to a point where I've realized that my truth is to anchor the light here on earth. My truth is to be as human as possible. And when I say human, I mean like actually being heartfelt, feeling intensely, giving intensely, being there fully, being fully present, being there for others, being of service as well as I can, really experiencing and indulging in all that life has to offer, the good and the bad. And I feel like that truly is, and I've been seeing this a lot. It's so funny because like I'll be watching videos and lately I can't stand a lot of these YouTube readers anymore. And the thing is that honestly, I'm not bashing anyone because like I said, this as well as spirituality, the whole culture and practice, and you know the regime that is behind it, it's all played its part in my journey. So I'm not bashing it because I've had days where I felt like I had nothing left, and then a reader shows up and they say exactly what I need to hear. Whether it's something that I really needed to hear, I don't know, but something that was the exact words or the exact hope. Oh, this is gonna happen for you. Hold on tight. You know what I mean? Don't give up now. These are the words that I needed in that time to keep going. It was that light that I needed. So I'm not bashing readers, but I can't stand it anymore because I can kind of see through all of the feeding, basically feeding the ego to get through it. And I can see how religion can sometimes feed into the ego as well. And now I'm seeing that with spirituality. It is an egotistical side to spirituality, but you have to catch yourself before you get caught up in that side, you know? So I am, I don't know what to class myself as. I don't know what to call my truth, but I feel like I'm leaving spirituality. I'm even at the moment, I'm really asking, I'm in deep thought with myself, and I'm really asking a lot of questions around the terminology that I use, and like the entities and the spirits that are around me, like how we call them the guides, we call them the angels. Like I'm questioning all of that because obviously all of it is God, and I am just in a space right now where I feel like I only want to be directly with God. I want it to be me and God, you know? Me and God, and when I pray, I want to be straight to God. And as much as I want to be able to address, I want to be open to addressing any energies that are there for me. So I will probably still call them guides from, habit, practice, angels from habit, practice. But what I mean is I'm connecting with the highest power. I'm connecting with the brightest light. I'm connecting with the biggest energy, the energy that is within all of the atoms that creates everything that is in the physical and not in the physical. So I just want, it's a weird place because it's not a place of certainty. And I think that spirituality brought me a lot of that certainty. It brought me, like I said in the beginning, it's like I feel like I was building a really stable foundation, and now I'm being called away from it. I'm being told that you don't need labels. And it's not even like you don't need labels, like you are not a label. That's what I'm hearing. It's like, it's not something, like a kind friend saying, oh, you don't need that. They're saying like you are not a label. Stop trying to do that. Stop trying to label yourself. Even when I get on here and I talk about, when I try to explain about, um how I'm ADD, ADHD, inattentive, if that's how you relate to it. How, I am self diagnosed autism, because I definitely think I'm on the spectrum. But even talking about things like that, like they don't want me to look at it like that, you know? And I say they because that is a practice as well. But God does not want me to see myself as these labels that we are trying to fit into. Whatever is wherever I'm supposed to go, and whatever my life has in store for me, and whatever it is that I'm supposed to be, this path that I'm supposed to be walking on, that is going through me and I'm just experiencing it, it requires me to step outside of all identity, you know. And like, I understand in these spiritual terminologies of having that whole, like, everything stripped away from you, the tower moment, basically kind of like an identity crisis. I don't even feel like it's an identity crisis. I don't even feel like things have fallen apart. I feel like the veil has finally lifted. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know exactly where I'm being directed to, but I know that I can identify clearly everything that I'm being diverted from, which is giving me kind of like a mental and soulful map of like the direction that I'm supposed to be going in. So at this point, I'm so sorry, this video's getting long. But at this point, I am just I'm just honestly, I'm learning to be with my life again. I'm learning to, like with my son, he is diagnosed autistic, suspected ADHD. But I'm also being told, like, stop trying to, even parents without kids that have special needs, additional needs, we're always looking at like how children think, the psychology of kids, and how do we, okay, somebody's got a book out that says, okay, if children do this and do that, and then it'll help fix. Yes, all of that has its place. Do you see how all of these things have place? Because some people need that crutch, some people need that helping hand. But I think God is here to really, God is coming through right now to basically tell me that let's stop reaching out for crutches and let's learn to walk on our own legs first. If we figure that we are injured and we need help, ask for help. Find the book that helps you out. Find the spirituality and the religion and the videos that you watch and the whatever you need. But let's learn to walk on our own first. Let's learn to create our own box of truth within ourselves. Let's learn to not try to reach out for the first label, the first identity, the first box that we think that we're supposed to fit in. That's what it is. It's about really getting serious about being who you are right now, the human that you decided to be, learning everything in and out about that person. And when I say learning, I don't mean taking yourself apart and putting yourself in all the different boxes that you think you're supposed to fit in. I mean looking at yourself and perceiving yourself as is, not compared to what this other person is, and looking at yourself for who you truly are without trying to define it. And when it comes to my son, even as well, I've spent a lot of my time trying to figure out autism, trying to figure out what do other parents do, and we're all in this pool. And then I start identifying myself as, oh, I'm autism mom, so I should, I'm this way and I'm that way, and people don't understand me, and it's just like, not at the point where I'm just like, what was I doing? Why do I not give a fuck? Like, if it wasn't any other children around me, if I didn't have the fucking internet, where I had access to everything in the goddamn world, I would see my son and I would work with my son the way that I need to work with my son. So it's about looking at him, observing him, testing him with little things to see how he reacts so that I can learn how to be for my son, so that I can learn how to support him in the best ways, so I can learn how to provide for him in the best ways, so I can learn, not, oh, when he flaps his hands and when he stomps his feet, like that is stim. And it's like, okay, well, what's making him do that right now? What's making him do that? Oh, okay, well, yes, I can tell that he's happy when he's doing that, but what is making him do that? How can I get more of that in his life so that he can do that? How can I help him to feel accepted when he's stimming in that way. You know, so I'm just using that as an example. I really hope that it's getting through to you um with that example. But like when it comes to obviously living, everything starts with self. And I'm going to say it again. I said it in a previous video. Please do not forget the fact that, I mean, yes, we are here to experience this life, but like you are the motherfucking experience. Like you are the experience. Without you, this wouldn't be anything. It wouldn't be nothing. If you can't hear and you can't see and you can't touch and you can't smell and you can't taste and you can't nothing, what are you doing then? What are you doing? Can you experience anything? Anything but your energy, the energy that you are. That's the only way that you would be able to experience the energy that you are. Spend your life trying to get as close to that as possible. Spend your life really falling into the senses. Spend your life, you know, and this is something, and people ain't gonna wanna fucking hear it, but I heard something in my head about heartbreak, like, you know, when you're experiencing a really big, magical, infatuating, like soulful love, you know, you want to experience all of it and you can't get enough of it, and it's just like everything's so perfect. But then we always shy away from heartbreak and we're so scared to get hurt and da 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 da. You know what I mean? So I'm here to remind you that you're here to experience all of the heartbreak as well. You know what I mean? I've said this before as well about romanticizing life. Like, really, it's about being accepting and walking with the perception that you were just taking things as they are, including yourself, and not trying to put it in a box, not trying to frame it, not trying to build an identity around it. You're accepting it where it's at. You feel something, you allow yourself to feel it deeply, and you move through it. That is the point of life. That's the point of life. You don't buy a book to skim through the first couple of pages, skip everything, and then get to the last page. You want to be there with every single emotion within the book. So why not step back a little bit from your life and become more of the observer so that you can finally read the book of your life and go up and down with the emotions and see it all through? Do you get what I mean? So it's varying a little bit, but yeah. I am stepping back from spirituality, spiritual practices. I am getting on with my life. I'm finally living. I'm finally living. I'm getting out of my head and my imaginations. And, you know, don't get me wrong, imagination has its motherfucking place. This world would be a dull place without imagination. So that's for another video. But I'm getting out of my mind and I'm getting out of identity and labels, and I am allowing for God to redirect me and to bring me closer to our original essence. And I've never felt freer, and I really hope that I've impacted someone. This video is almost 25 minutes long. I really hope that you've taken at least one thing away from this. But yeah, that's where I stand. Hopefully I'll have another update for you soon. I love y'all so much, more than you even know. Um, Jenny ran out. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for sitting with me on my couch.